Peggy Bolton. First of our name, she's here to stay. Join the winning team. Peggy Bolton.
You see, I'm dancing for you guys, I'm singing for you guys. What else do you want? Hi, my beautiful pearls. Someone told me that the guys don't want to be called beautiful pearls. So, what do you want to be called? Handsome gravels? Hi, my beautiful pearls and handsome gravels. How are you? Guys, if you're new here, I've got you. You have to like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. Join the winning team and become a beautiful pearl or a handsome gravel. As you can see today, guys, I wasn't in the mood to make a video. That's why I'm barefaced. I'm barefaced, guys. No makeup. I'm tired. Anyways, guys, today I'm going to be talking about how to get over a heartbreak. Now, before I list some of the things I think may help you, I'm going to tell my own story about my first heartbreak. Ready? Okay, so it was like very earlier on when I got to University of Ghana. Now, at this point, I'm still with my first boyfriend, the guy I spoke about in the last two videos. So it was early in the morning. I had to go write an exam. Now I lived in this hostel, the Diaspora. We nicknamed that place Diaspora because that place was a bit far off campus. I was in Jane Nelson Hall. Hi guys, haven't been there since I left. Wow. Anyway, so it's either I take a taxi or the shuttle, and honestly, at that time shuttles were hard to get, so I decided to walk. So I take a few steps outside, barely any steps. I hear behind me. I was like, whoa, are you trying to hit me? I look over and it's a car, and I'm like, what did they see behind me? Because even now I'm struggling a bit. So back then there was nothing behind. What were they screeching like that for? Anyway, so they screech. And they were like, hi, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to write an exam. It was two guys. I'm going to write an exam. And you know what? At that time, I'm still new, so I don't know about hunters. Apparently, they nicknamed a group of older guys as hunters. They will come in their flashy cars and try to hunt down, freshers. I'm not saying these guys were hunters. Anyways. So they offer me a lift. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to walk. So yeah, I'm going to get in the car. Oh, I just realized that the change in the background is changing the lighting of the video. Hold on. I'm just gonna leave it. You guys are gonna have to deal with the changing lights. Anyways, so I get in the car and I don't remember who was driving, but let's name one Donut, which isn't his real name, and let's name the other one Johnson. Okay, well, throughout the ride, Johnson is the one doing most of the talking. We are vibing and all of that. And Donald is acting shy, just giggling on the side. So Johnson takes my number. So I go to write the exam. I come back and I realize Johnson has texted. I'm not sure who had texted, but it was a strange number. I respond, we get to talking, and then he says he was going to come by my hostel later on in the evening. And so I go downstairs to meet this person, and it's not Johnson, it's actually Donald. And I was like, I was kind of liking this Johnson person. But anyways, let's see how this goes. So I go and it's Donald. And one thing that attracted me to Donald was the fact that he was an older guy. And he was like 9 years older than me. Disclaimer, he wasn't a sugar daddy. Because at that time I was so young that even 9 years older was still not up to 30 years. You get? So aside the fact that he was older, and I liked older guys then, back then, because the only example of a marriage, or the top example of marriage, or male female relationship, were my parents. And my dad is like 6 years older than my mom. So to me, the ideal relationship was if the guy was like at least 5 years older. That's how I used to think. I don't think like that anymore, anyways. So he was like 9 years older, but he was so shy of me. I mean, he was acting shy of me. He had this big grin on his face. He didn't have much to say. He was acting shy. I was like, wow, this guy is making me feel powerful. I mean, I'm a small girl and this guy is like shy of me, clock it. So that made me like him. So I think soon after that, he asked me out. He wanted us to go get, I don't remember if it was ice cream or smoothies, and I'm a Sunyani girl. Okay, I'm still new in Accra. Yes, as a young child, I used to come to Accra for vacation to visit my aunts and cousins, but I'm not a Accra girl. And even though Sunyani is not a village, it's not Accra. So this guy is taking me out to places that I've never been at that time. Yeah. So he takes me out for ice cream or smoothies. I don't remember. And immediately I come back, I text my boyfriend. I'm like, bro. And let me take it back. That boyfriend of mine, I never really wanted to date him. I mentioned that it was right after high school. And I wasn't ready for a relationship. That guy talked. He talked, he mentioned Abraham Lincoln. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll be your girlfriend. So that's how we started dating. So every argument or whatever, I will break up with him. So at this time, I had broken up with him. But usually when I break up with him, he will call, he will text, blah 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 blah, and we will come back together. So around this time, we were fighting, so I wasn't talking to him. So I go on a date with Donald, and immediately I come back, I text my boyfriend then, my then boyfriend, and I said, bro, it's done. I found someone I like. And you know what? Previous breakups, he knew I'll come around. But this time, because I mentioned that I found someone else, that one shook him because I had never mentioned anybody else. So this time he knew I was serious. And he tried. He tried his best. I was done. Anyway, so me and Donald get into a relationship. And red flag number one, Donald never really proposes. Girls, don't assume. Don't ever do that shit. Let them propose. I was young and naive and I was a pick me, but now you would have to do a proper proposal. Let me think about it and say, okay, I want to be your girlfriend. Anyway, so actually how we started dating, how we go into a relationship, he started just calling me his girlfriend. And one day I was like, so I'm your girlfriend? And he was like, yes, of course you're my girlfriend. And that's how we started dating. Oh yeah, cry Jimmy. Yes. Anyway, so me and Donald's relationship lasted about 4 months and on and off for like for an extra 2 months. And it was great when it lasted. Oh my god, he took me places I had never been. He took me to the theater to watch live plays. He would take me to the movies, smoothies, ice cream. We would take like night rides. And he'll be driving and then his hand would be on my lap and I'll be like, those were the times, anyways. But thinking about it now, it was nothing. Those things are nothing. But I was a child. I was still very, inexperienced. Anyways, so I remember one time he got really sick. He got sick and he was admitted at the hospital. So I went to go see him and his family was there. And I remember he introduced me to his mom and she was just being a boy mom, She doesn't know me, she doesn't trust me. So the reception was not that good. But his dad, on the other hand, oh my god, we chatted. It was fun talking to his dad. And I remember he showed me a text from his family group that his sister had texted the group saying, hey, you guys come and see some slim things that this guy has brought to this house. Oh. I used to be skinny, oh my god. Anyways, my sister also liked me a lot. And I remember when he was well enough to go back home, I went to visit him, and he asked me to go and help his mom in the kitchen. Being the feminist that I am today, that would be problematic because I'm a visitor. If I were a male visitor, will anybody expect me to go help the mom in the kitchen? No. But the only reason why I'll do that now is that it's just nice that if you go visit someone and the older woman is in the kitchen, you, the younger, more able person, it's only nice for me to go help out. But I won't do it because it's an audition to show that I'll be a good wife. No, because that's not my role as a wife. Your son is a well-abled human being who can take care of himself. So I won't make. Anyways, I don't want to turn this into a feminist rant. Anyway, so I remember I go help his mom in the kitchen, and she was washing napkins, and I was like, "Mommy, please let me help you." And she looks at me and she was like, "With these your long nails, will you be able to wash?" I was like, "See, I'm washing." Pick me. Anyways, I added this story because there were some things that I did during those times that, I mean, not to say anything, he was nice to me. Donald was nice to me, but I also feel like everybody that I'm close to, when we are no longer close, one thing they will remember is that I was caring. And I believe that even Donald will remember that I used to care for him a lot. So let's fast forward because this video is going to be short. I don't have energy to edit long video. Let's fast forward to one time he took me out. Let me change the background because. So let's fast forward. One time he takes me to Aqua Safari, and we went with his best friend and his best friend's wife, and we had so much fun. It was good. On our way back, I asked for his phone. He was driving. I asked for his phone to send pictures I took with his phone to my phone, and I don't remember if I sneaked into his text messages or I just found it in his gallery, but I found this picture of a bare-chested woman, boobs out, nipples pointing, and this picture didn't look like something that had come from online. Like it didn't look like a random picture from the internet. The girl looked like the regular looking girl next door, very dark skinned, wide nose. Like I remember these features because it was the opposite of me. So I was like, wait, am I not his type? Is his type what I'm seeing on the phone? So I asked him, what the hell is this? And he says, oh, no bras day, October, breast cancer awareness. So one of the guys sent this picture to the group. I'm like, yeah, I'm young and stupid, but I'm not that stupid. So I got really upset, and I'm looking out the window, and he starts to tickle me, like he's trying to cheer me up. I told him, don't touch me. He keeps doing it. I told him, if you touch me, I'll slap you. And mind you, I'm young and emotional intelligence isn't really my thing at that time. He touches me again. I didn't get his cheek the first time. I got his neck, so I got a on his cheek. And girls, that thing I did was bad. Don't hit a man. I'm a feminist doesn't mean that I support double standards. If you hit somebody, they can hit you back. Don't hit anybody if you know you can't fight. Because that was really risky. What if he was such a wicked person? We were on the road in the middle of nowhere. He could have pushed me out of the car. He could have hit me back. He could have done anything. So that was really bad of me on my side. Anyway, so he goes quiet. I remember he goes quiet. And we keep driving in silence. We get to campus. I open the door and I go back. So at this point, I'm hurt, but the heartbreak hasn't started yet. So we go days without talking to each other. And I remember he's trying to make me jealous. He's posting other girls, using other girls as his DP and all of that. And so I text him. I'm like, bro, before we started dating, before we go into a relationship, there was a conversation. So if we've broken up, we have to have the conversation. No, I forgot this part of the story. When things were good, oh my god, this guy, all he has to do is to come on campus and text me and say, I'm downstairs. I would jump from my bed. I'll start screaming, my husband, my husband, my husband. It's giving my man, my man, my man. And my roommates, I'm sure they were looking at me like, this girl, you don't know what you're doing. Because they were older. They were in level 200, 300 at that time. And they were new on campus. So they probably had seen stuff like this before. And they were probably thinking, this girl, you're going to learn. Anyways, so he comes on campus to talk about it. And honestly, I don't even remember what he said to me, but I forgive him. Pick me, Peggy. Naive Peggy. I forgave him. Today, if a man did that, it's done. But at that time, I let it go and we continue. And one time he comes to pick me up, and around this time, he was still living with his parents. So if we were going to spend time together or whatever, we would go to like a hotel or a guest house or whatnot. And so he picks me up, we go out, and he's asleep. And I steal his phone because even though I had let that situation go, I still didn't trust him. Oh my god, I'm telling the story backwards. Let me take you back. So one time before all of this happened, he told me that he was going to his hometown to because his sister, they were going to do the knocking ceremony for his sister. Knocking ceremony is like an introductory ceremony, a small introductory something that we do before the actual traditional wedding in Ghana. And he claimed they were going to his hometown because the family of the husband would have to come to his family in their hometown. And throughout that day, he doesn't text me, he doesn't call me. It was later on in the night. He texts me and he's like, oh babe, the network, the connection in my hometown was so bad. I even had to climb a mango tree so that I could text you. Come and see foolish, naive Peggy. I was like, oh my god. My boyfriend climbed a mango tree to talk to me. Oh my god, my man, my man, my man. I was so stupid. Anyways, so coming back to this time where he's asleep, I pick his phone, I go through his gallery, and I find that the day that he claimed that he had gone to his hometown, he was back at Aqua Safari with this same girl, or at least a similar looking girl. And I see pictures of them in the speed bike, that water speed bike. I think that's what it's called. And I remember when we had gone to Aqua Safari, he said it was too expensive, so we didn't do that activity. But he's out there doing it with this other girl. Oh my god, probably this is not the worst heartbreak story, but it was my first heartbreak, and I thought it was crazy. You took another girl to Aqua Safari. How long did you guys stay? And so many questions. So I wake him up and I was like, I know what you did. And he jumps out of his sleep because he's sleeping, so he's confused. He doesn't even understand. And you know what? Because I was always in his car, and I didn't have to pay for anything. I had no money. I had no idea where we were. Nothing. I just woke him up, told him I found what he did, and walked out crying. So I'm walking down the street. I'm crying. I don't know where I'm going. And I remember a car stops. This big car stops. And he was like, what's wrong? Where are you going? I'm like, I'm going back to campus. And he was like, okay, why don't you join us? There were two guys in the car. Why don't you join us? Let's go and have drinks. I'm like, are you guys mad? Do men ever help people without looking for something in return? You see a stranded young girl on the street, and your first instinct is to take her out for drinks. So that after the drinks, what? I follow you to your house, Abby. Men. Anyway, so I was like, no, I don't want that. So I'm walking down the street. I'm frustrated. I'm confused. I'm discombobulated. So I just pick a taxi and tell him to take me to Legon campus, Diaspora, Janelson Hall. We get there. I don't know how to pay, so I call this male friend. And if you're watching this, Hans, I I know we've never really had a smooth friendship or whatever, but that thing you did for me that day, thank you so much. I called Hans and I was like, Hans, can you come pay for my ride? And he comes, he pays, and I burst out crying. I am wailing. Everybody's looking at me. He calms me down, he takes me to my room. Anyway, so that's how I survived the night. So later on that night, Donald texts me and he says he's downstairs. I should come downstairs, so we talk about it. And one thing about me is that I give people chances. But if I say I'm done, I'm done. And at that time, I was done. So I don't remember the excuse or the explanation he gave me, but I told him I was done. And I broke up with him and I left. So the mature me would have left it there. But oh no, of course, he would text me once in a while and I'll respond. And so I leave. And that's when the broken heart actually sunk in. I was like, bro, even though I was the one that broke up with him, everything that had happened hit me like a bus. I was like, why would anybody treat me like this? And I remember the next morning I was going to buy something at the convenience shop in the hostel. And I remember I couldn't feel my legs. I felt like a zombie. I felt like I was floating, but not in a good way. I just couldn't feel my legs. That is how I felt when my heart was broken. Anyway, broken heart is not a good thing, no. It's not a good thing at all. Anyway, so he talks to me once a while, and at this time, of course, I still have feelings for him. So vacation comes, and he says he's going on a trip, a Christmas trip to Takoradi. And I'd never been to Takoradi, and I was like, would I like to go with him? I've broken up with this guy, so why would I follow him to Takoradi? Only God knows. Please, you see, really, the reason why I do these stories, right, is to try to teach young girls, please don't do the things that I did. I want young girls to learn from my mistakes, and also for my future daughters, because I believe that I will have daughters. Girls, if for some reason I'm not able to tell you these stories, just watch my videos. Don't do what I did. Anyways, so I tell my mom, so because my mom is in Accra this time, I tell her, we all paid 50 cedis to go on Christmas trip, my hostel people. So if I don't go on this Christmas trip, it will go to waste. And low-key, I think my mom knew. Is it that she knew, and she was like, you know what, just do you're an adult. I think she knew. And so there's another message for my children, my future children. There's no light on earth, in heaven or hell you guys can tell me. I'll clock it. Unless I decide not to mind you guys, you won't be able to lie to me. Let's get that straight. Anyway, so I go on this Christmas trip with him, and it's with two of his friends and their girlfriends. And this whole time we are on this trip, I'm timid, I'm quiet because I'm hurt. This guy has hurt me. I'm still hurt about everything. And I think his guys complained about how timid I was or whatever. Because one of the girls later told me that he told the guys that the only reason he came with me was that the person he really wanted to come with was unavailable. And I think that was the icing on the cake. I was like, are you mad? What do you take me for? I was second choice. I was that. That really hurt me. So I remember I told him the day before we left Takoradi that this thing that you've done to me, yeah, you pay for it. One way or the other, you pay for it. Anyway, so I remember we drove from Takoradi back to Accra. And I remember this time, I got out of his car. I looked back at him. I waved. And that wave was it for me. That day, I was like, I told myself, it's done. I will never allow this guy disrespect me anymore. That was it for me. And from that day onwards, every time he texts me, my heart will not jump anymore. I won't feel, oh my God, should I respond now? Should I wait a bit? Over the years, we've had conversations on and off. Sometimes we're best friends, not best friends, like we are cool, we are cordial. Sometimes we don't talk for a long time. And right now we have some sort of acquaintanceship. I can't speak English, can I? Anyway, I'm just trying to say real cool. Yeah, so I remember recently, somewhere last year, he's like, there was a topic we were discussing. Oh, let me take it back. So after this whole bye, when I waved him, I realized he was posting another woman's picture on his Instagram. And I was hurt because all that time we were together, he never posted me. Was he ashamed of me? Was I too small for him? I don't know. And his friends will be under his comments. They're calling her our wife. Obim. I think Obim is a Nigerian word of endearment because he said he grew up a little bit in Nigeria. They are calling the girl Obim, our wife, whatever. I'm like, you can post woman. Nice. Anyway, so exactly a year after our breakup, he marries this other woman. I'm like, cool. And anyway, so I remember somewhere last year, we were talking about something. I'm like, so ask your wife because I learned your wife is a lawyer. And he was like, which wife? We are divorced. And Donald, which isn't your real name. I know you might watch this video, and you might get upset. But listen, you hurt me. And I told you would pay. So when I heard you were divorced, I was like, hey, divorced. He has done for me. My God, that day I slept like this with a smile on my face because to me that was revenge. That was karma. And people say karma is a bitch. No, karma is a very nice person. She whacks you when you least expect. And honestly, divorce is a bad thing, especially because I know there are children involved. At least I don't know how many children, but he has this DP with a baby's hand. So I know for a fact that there were children involved, and no child should be made to grow up in a broken home. I don't like that. So for the sake of the children, I am not happy. But for the sake of what he did to me, hey, maybe I'm wicked, and maybe after this he will never talk to me again. But honest to God, as much as I like our little cordial relationship, I wouldn't give two F's if we never talk again a day in our lives. Let's get that straight. Clacking. Anyways, so he tells me they're divorced, and to me that was karma. And I'm just glad that I got over that and I learned. I learned from that heartbreak. It showed me that hey girls, don't let these men disrespect you. Look at yourself in the mirror. Do you look like somebody who's supposed to cry over a man? In 2026, girl. Bro, look at you. Forget that guy. And if you're a guy watching this and you're also heartbroken, hey, honestly, this video is not for you because I don't have advice for men. Thank you. Anyways, so let me give you some pointers on how, and honestly, I think I left some details out of the story, but let me give you some pointers on how to get over a heartbreak. First of all, unfollow him on Instagram or any other social media that you use to follow him. And I know it's hard because even after unfollowing him, you go back to check what's this person posting, what's this person doing. Stop it. And I know sometimes the breakup is so bad that you block each other, and some of you will even create a new account just to go and stalk. Stop it. Leave this person in the past. Every time that he comes to mind, pray. Pray, oh, Charlie, pray. I say, God, please take this pain away from me. And I know you people are already doing that. I'm just giving you, see, there's no written rules about these things. I'm just, these tips. Maybe it will help. Pray. Cry if you want to. You can go to bed crying every day. Just know that time, it will heal you. Okay? One day you go to bed and you will not cry anymore. Because people go through the worst heartbreak, like losing a loved one. And even that, a time will come that they will remember this loved one and still laugh. So best believe that it's not this heartbreak that's the end of the world for you. Another thing, remember that you are the ish. And best believe that the next one is going to be better. Because there's no way you're going to downgrade. So if you think this person is so great, just know that the person who will come after this person is going to be 10 times, 100 times better than the last one. So who is this person that's supposed to, who will make you your life? And that's one thing about men. They think that if they leave you, your life will be miserable, that no one else will come for you. Are you mad? When you saw me that you liked me, you think nobody else will see me? At that time, I was fresh on campus, so all the boys, everybody, hey, there's this fresh girl in this hostel. Da, 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 da. I didn't mind anybody. I chose you. Why? Because that's just me. You don't have to be the most handsome person. You don't have to be the richest. If I like you, I like you. At that time, if you are not Donald, don't text me. If my phone vibrates and you're not my mom or Donald, Charlie, that was me. I was tunnel vision. Yeah, and it still did not work out. So even that, I was able to get over it. And I was still young and my heart was soft. But I was still able to get over it. So girl, you can do it. Okay. Another thing is that don't jump into another relationship. Oh my God, do not jump. Excuse me. The boobs are doing their own thing in this video. If only you guys could see. Anyways, don't jump into another relationship because it's doomed from the start. Because it's a rebound. If you are getting into a relationship to try to fill the vacuum created by the last one, just know that it's going to fail. So don't do it. Okay. Because honestly, I'm in a very happy relationship now. And this relationship happened the very moment I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to try to be with anybody else. I'm going to focus on myself, achieve things, and become the woman I want to be. That was the time I found my partner. Okay, so take your time, take a break. Man, we all know you're a fine girl. Men want to be with you. But it's not every man that you allow in your life. Okay, girl? What else? Maybe start journaling. Anything you want to text this man, write it down in your journal. Say it to your notepad. Something. Don't text him. He'll take you for granted. Because one thing about these men, they will always come back. They will come back to text to test if you're still stupid. And most times we are still stupid because we still have feelings for them. Don't let them misuse you. If they text you back, don't think, oh, because he still loves me. No. He wants to know if you still love him. He wants to, because to feed his ego. That's why they do that. So don't be flattered if your ex texts you. He's nobody. Leave him in the past. Okay, baby girl. What else? So we've mentioned prayer. We've mentioned journaling. We've mentioned crying if you have to. And we've mentioned time. I think time is the number one point. Let time heal you. And for the time to be able to heal you, you have to give time. You can't keep going back because every time you go back, you retrogress. You are going back 10 steps. So make steady steps into healing. I don't know how therapy really works in Ghana, and I don't know how expensive it is, but you can do your research, find a therapist if you have to. If this heartbreak was so bad and you feel like you're losing your mind, maybe talk to a therapist. But my girl, if they hurt you that bad, then they don't deserve you. Don't go back. Okay, baby? Okay, guys. So I probably forgot a lot as I usually do, but thanks for watching. I hope you like my outfit. Today I'm showing boobs for you girls. Thanks for watching my beautiful pearls and my handsome gravels, and I hope to see you in my next video.